The old saying is that time flies, and that has certainly been the case with the Tiger pregame show. In the 20 years of the show, we have seen just about everything. Great wins, heartbreaking losses, incredible trips to locations in 13 different states, some of which I never imagined I would see while traveling with the Tigers. So in this 20th season, I thought I would chronicle the year, the travels, and the thoughts to document this anniversary season. I hope you will join me in this journey on the Tiger Pregame Show's 20th season vlog. Well, as you can hear behind me, week 2 home opener versus Furman is off to a little bit of a soggy start here in Clemson. Well, keep an eye on the forecast today, of course, but right now it's what we call a gully washer, pretty big proportions, but not going to dampen the spirit. You play through it. We did this, Notre Dame game several years ago with the remnants of a hurricane. If we can get through that, we can get through anything, but a soggy start to week 2. On a beautiful sunny day, I think this is one of the greatest views of the stadium area, at least on the west side of the stadium here in the Swann Pavilion where we broadcast, because as we step up here, you'll see it's just a great look over Memorial Stadium in Death Valley. And once the show goes on a little bit, there'll be a bunch of folks tailgating out here and down here as well. It's just a great backdrop. And of course, this is our setup here, the Tiger Tailgate Show, which comes on right after us, and then of course all the WCCP logos, and that's where we'll be. Number 256 coming your way. Okay, the early bird gets the worm. Getting here early today was a huge help because we had to do a lot of manual labor. The not so glamorous part of doing a pregame show is that we don't have a team of people for the most part. It's just us. But we got it done. We're about 10 minutes to broadcast. I'm inside Little John Coliseum, and rain's easing off a little bit more misty at this moment. And hopefully this will push out and we'll be good to go. But the frantic start of the first season opener always is a challenge, and a fun challenge, but a challenge nonetheless. So let's see how the show turns out.
A lot of the belly aching that we heard last week, and I even quoted I tweeted, and it was a little bit of a jab at some folks, but all that complaining about a cover. And Clemson covers the spread, and people are just angry, in aftermath. They're just mad and frustrated and about 100 things. And, the fact of the matter is there were some things that you can't replicate week after week. You're not going to block 2 punts. Yeah. Georgia Tech's not going to be, you're not going to face a tire fire every week, right? But there were some things that you can replicate. I think you can replicate the offensive game plan. And I think the game plan is going to be similar today. I think it's going to be a little bit conservative early. Yep. I would expect there to be a little bit of a build as the game goes on.
I got so excited to hear your pick, and I completely slipped over the fact, and I said this earlier, that back to the salute to Clemson fans, I'm challenging the fans here today, to be here. It's a little overcast, a little mist in there, but it's not a washout. Get into the stadium, go support this. Be supportive, especially on that offensive side of the ball, the boopers, the chippers, and all those kind of things. It's not good for the team, and it's not good for DJ. It's not even good for Gabe Klubnik. Let's let the coach.
Look at that, the old Tiger right there. You better watch it. You didn't like it. You were hating on it. I know. I'm better watch it. So many hateful fans. Go Tigers.
Okay, Clemson Nation, week 2 is in the books. The sun's about to set on the Tigers' win over the Furman Paladins. Just a strange dichotomy of what's been going on these first 2 weeks of the season, because last week we talked about how it was a slow start and then a pretty good finish. Well, this week it was a good start and a slow finish, so it's almost like we need the second half of Clemson versus Georgia Tech's team to marry up with the first half of the Clemson team versus Furman. We'll say this: DJ Uiagalelei played really, really well today. Certainly one of his best games as a Clemson Tiger, so that's promising. But week 2 is in the books. We got to win. That's really all you can kind of chalk up to this day. There are battles to fight down the road. We saw a lot of upsets in college football this weekend. So what we'll do is we'll sleep on this. We'll get ready for next week. It's a night game in Death Valley against Louisiana Tech, and I'm looking forward to that. And maybe we'll walk out of that game feeling even better than we felt this week. It was an improvement from week 1 to week 2, and that's all you can ask for. We'll try to get better on week 3. With that being said, from the lake in Clemson, we'll see you next time.